Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6. California faces floods and mudslides after some extreme weather. And a Full House star is charged with a DUI. And Orange Madness kicks off the basketball season tonight at the Dome. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Monika Hammer.
And I'm Jacob Reynolds. SU is paying tribute to Breast Cancer Awareness Month this October. That's our top story tonight. SU students have come together to support a cause that affects families across the world. Citrus TV News reporter Maria Cinti tells us about yesterday's Relay for Life kickoff and how it has impacted students on campus.
Syracuse University students joined together yesterday to jumpstart the Relay for Life kickoff, an annual event that advocates Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. The kickoff began at Shine Student Center, where students participated in activities, were provided with food, and registered for the kickoff's first annual 5K run. And later on, students went to the quad and the 5K run took off. Relay for Life committee member Catherine Miller says the run should help generate more participation in Relay for Life.
It's just going to get people educated and totally involved, and we want them to say, hey, we want to help too. This is a great start, but where else can we go from here?
This full-day celebration was filled with big events, but in reality, it supports an even bigger cause: the support and recognition of the millions of people who battle cancer every single year.
For many, Relay for Life is seen as an opportunity to exercise and fundraise for a good cause.
My friend Taylor and I are race people, so we're yeah, we got to sign up.
But for others, Relay for Life's impact truly hits home.
Well, my mom's a breast cancer survivor, and one of my best friends lost her mother to breast cancer. So I like to support those not only who have survived and keep fighting, but those who we've lost as well.
Miller hopes the kickoff will motivate SU students to join the cause.
18,000 students here, and we want them all to know that there's a place for them in the Dome in April, and this is the start of that.
Participants have raised over $1,200 for Relay for Life so far this school year. I'm Maria Cinti, Citrus TV News.
Police continue to search for suspects involved in Wednesday night's shooting, which killed a 15-year-old boy. He was shot on his back porch on Hope Avenue. He was friends with 3 others who were also recently shot and killed. The teen, who we will not name out of respect for his family, was the 20th homicide victim in Syracuse this year. According to the police, gangs are responsible for the majority of the city's homicides. A 17-year-old was also shot, and he is expected to survive.
Syracuse basketball fans will get their first look at the 2015 men's and women's basketball teams at Orange Madness tonight. That event is in the Carrier Dome and is free for all SU and ESF students and $5 for the public. The event will begin at 7 p.m. and will include a dunk contest, alumni guest coaches, scrimmages by both the men and women's team, and much more. Fans will also be able to take a selfie with Coach Boeheim and student athletes in the Q Selfie Station. And the 3rd annual Acapella concert is happening tomorrow night. The event is hosted by the acapella group Auto Tunes and raises both money and awareness of testicular cancer. 2 other groups, Orange Appeal and the Buffalo Chips, will also perform, as well as a surprise guest. The event is free, though a $5 donation is suggested. All proceeds will benefit the Testicular Cancer Foundation. The concert kicks off at 8 p.m. at Hendricks Chapel.
And legendary singer, songwriter, and social justice activist David Crosby conducted a masterclass seminar presented by the Bandier program earlier today. The session took place in Setner Auditorium for SU and ESF students. The 2-time Rock and Roll Hall of Famer discussed his folk music roots, folk rock's history, and Laurel Canyon music scene, his influences, and his songwriting process.
And after the break, could Joe Biden be announcing a presidential bid?
And terror bombings killed nearly 50 in Nigeria.
Don't go away.
Sunny, but it's not going to stay that way for long. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
On the night of October 14th, Syracuse University was notified of an off-campus incident via Orange Alert. Just moments after the event, Citrus TV News was already bringing you new information on Periscope and social media. Then we brought nearly an hour and a half of live streaming coverage to students on and off campus via the web. Our own Hunter Sines was at the scene near the shooting, sending us live images of the area under investigation. The following day, reporters were live with the full story. With full team coverage, we kept SU informed with the latest, most accurate information possible. We really are your campus news leader.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to like, you know, do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
President Obama welcomed the leader of South Korea to the White House today in an attempt to display unity between the two countries.
In a joint press conference, the two focused on ways to deter a nuclear-armed North Korea and strengthen relations between the U.S. and the Asia-Pacific region.
Likewise, Pyongyang's nuclear and missile programs have achieved nothing except to deepen North Korea's isolation. Today, President Park and I are reaffirming that our nations will never accept North Korea as a nuclear weapons state. We will continue to insist that Pyongyang must abide by its obligations on the complete and verifiable denuclearization of the peninsula in a peaceful manner.
The Democratic primary presidential race could be adding a familiar face. Vice President Joe Biden has reportedly indicated to his political team that he will enter the race, something many have speculated.
In a letter, top Biden aide Ted Kaufman says the VP is nearing a final decision on whether to throw his hat in the ring. The deadline to get on the ballot in some states is rapidly approaching, meaning Biden will have to announce the decision soon.
And 6 construction workers have been hospitalized after the scaffolding on an apartment building in Houston collapsed.
Those 6 are now receiving treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. The search continues for others buried by the scaffolding.
Robert Rembert Jr. will appear in court for the alleged murder of 4 people. The truck driver is charged with raping and strangling 2 women and killing 2 more, one of whom was his own cousin.
Rembert was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter back in 1988. A county prosecutor has named him a serial killer, and Rembert is currently being held in county jail on a $1 million bond.
And the White House announced an Army captain who survived attacks by 2 suicide bombers will receive the Medal of Honor.
President Obama will present Army Captain Florent Groberg the award on November 12th for his selfless service in August of 2012.
Groberg survived the attacks but was badly wounded as he saved his fellow soldiers in Afghanistan. The Medal of Honor is the nation's highest military honor.
Of 10 of the largest oil and gas companies in the world, including BP and Shell, have guaranteed support for an effective deal to combat climate change in next month's conference in Paris.
The CEOs have noted the danger of emissions and offered to reduce methane emissions. They are also urging a shift from coal to natural gases. Greenpeace says the company's offer is not meaningful and undermines effective climate action.
And the terror group Boko Haram is believed to be responsible for 2 bombings in Nigeria today that have killed nearly 50 people.
In the first attack, 2 bombs exploded at the mosque in the town of Maiduguri, killing at least 30 people. Hours later, when confronted by soldiers, 4 women blew themselves up, killing at least 18 others.
And the Turkish Air Force claims to have shot down an unmanned drone flying over Turkish airspace after it ignored 3 warnings.
The identity of the drone is still unknown. However, Russian jets have violated Turkish airspace twice in recent weeks.
And while Russia supports Bashar al-Assad, the Turkish government opposes both Assad and ISIS and has cooperated with U.S. airstrikes.
The 14-year-old Texas student who made headlines in September when he was arrested for bringing a homemade clock to school met with the Sudanese president earlier this week.
Ahmed Mohammed told reporters he was extremely delighted to meet the president and hoped to return to visit him again with a new invention.
Despite Ahmed's excitement, the Sudanese president has an arrest warrant from the International Criminal Court for alleged war on crimes in the Darfur region.
Mohammed is also expected to be a guest at the White House this weekend.
According to British diplomats, putting the suspects of the Pan Am Flight 103 bombing behind bars may be easier said than done.
Yesterday, 2 new suspects were identified, but British officials say questioning them may be difficult. Scottish officials say investigations have previously made unsuccessful attempts to talk to a former Libyan spy about the attacks.
The only man convicted for the attacks died in 2012.
And when we come back, we'll have your full weather forecast with Brittany Muller.
And I'll catch you up on all your entertainment news in our Hammer Time segment.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom at 315-443-1177 or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Staring contest!
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake. So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Severe weather in Southern California stranded many drivers on roads following flash floods and hailstorms on Thursday. The unusual weather pounded areas north of Los Angeles. Flash floods triggered mudslides that forced the closure of parts of Interstate 5, and authorities are working to rescue those trapped in their cars. And even though we have not had the extreme weather they are seeing in California, it has been raining the past few days here, and Citrus TV weather reporter Brittany Muller is here for our full weather forecast going into the weekend.
Yeah, Jake, we had some chillier weather today. The high was 53 degrees with on and off rain showers. Winds out of the west at 13 miles an hour, and there's an 80% of humidity. Tonight will be in the high 30s, 70% chance of rain, so if you're heading outside, grab those umbrellas. We will have some cloudy skies tonight. And here are the current temperatures. You can see across the map, there are cooler temperatures except in Texas and Florida, where we see those 80-degree weather still. And we're seeing those beautiful leaves changing to red and orange. Here's a map of the fall foliage. You can see St. Louis and the eastern coast right here. There's some patchy colors, but taking a closer look of the northeast, you can see the leaves are bright and colorful. And if you have some pretty pictures of them, let us see and tweet at us at Citrus TV News. Here's a live look for the next 18 hours. You can see some storms passing through. And yes, I'm going to say it, we're even going to have some snow. We are going to have a wintry mix of snow and rain this weekend. You can see that passing through. Tomorrow will be in the high 40s. And you can see we're going to have some rain and snow. It will not be as humid as it was today. And now your weather for the week. Saturday and Sunday will be rainy and in the 40s. Monday will be the temperature will jump up to the 50s and the sun will be out and shining. Take advantage of that because Tuesday we're going to have some rain again, Wednesday again, but it will be in the 60s and at night will have dropped down to the 40s.
Alrighty, thanks, Brittany. Now, what worried me, what you said in there, was what could happen this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to see snow this weekend?
Okay, so we will definitely see cooler temperatures, and we are going to see a mix of rain and snow. So I'm not sure if that's going to be complete snow. I don't think that will be, but we're going to see the combination. So definitely grab a coat, be prepared. I know, I don't want to say it, but it is too early. We're in mid-October, but that's Syracuse.
All right, thank you, Brittany.
Of course.
And a breakthrough in gene editing. A breakthrough in gene editing could mean more organ transplants, but from pigs. Scientists have used a new method of editing pig genes. The research means pig organs could one day be transplanted into humans. The method generally edits one gene at a time, and many are calling for limits on the process and its applications. And a new study shows that more than 20,000 people are sent to the emergency room every year because of dietary supplements. The study conducted by the federal government shows many of the patients are young adults who take weight loss and energy-enhancing supplements, often resulting in heart problems. Some have called the industry poorly regulated, while others say 20,000 is a small percentage of the nearly half of Americans using supplements. And the numbers are in, and U.S. manufacturing has lagged for the second straight month. The report says fewer appliances, computer, and electronics have been made than in recent years. According to the Federal Reserve, production has dropped 0.4% in August and decreased an additional 0.1% last month. And now for all your entertainment news, it's Hammer Time with Monika Hammer. Monika?
Soon have to move. The state has banned one-week fantasy sports, saying they are unregulated gambling. The Nevada Gaming Control Board issued the memo saying sites like DraftKings and FanDuel could be facing legal action. And CBS has reportedly banned ads for the film Truth. The Robert Redford film tells the story of a discredited episode of CBS Evening News that aired back in 2004. During the show, CBS ran a story questioning President George W. Bush's military service record. Producer Mary Napes and 3 executives were fired after the airing. CBS had denounced the film, calling it a disservice to the public and to journalists. John Stamos has been formally charged with driving under the influence. This comes months after the Full House actor was pulled over in Beverly Hills. The Los Angeles County DA's office says Stamos faces 1 misdemeanor count of driving under the influence of drugs. Actor Randy Quaid and his wife have been released from a Vermont jail after being held for a week. The two were arrested last week while crossing the border from Canada into the U.S. A judge ruled there was no reason to hold the couple in jail for fugitive from justice charges. The Kingpin actor and his wife face alleged charges in California of squatting and vandalizing a home. And Lamar Odom's condition has improved. Reports say Odom was taken off life support when his heart rate improved and he opened his eyes for the first time. The former 6th Man of the Year award winner remains in a Nevada hospital 3 days after he was found unconscious at a brothel. The owner of the Love Ranch where Odom was found says the former NBA star spent $75,000 at the legal brothel. And Lucky Charms is making your dreams come true. General Mills announced they will be giving away 10 boxes filled entirely with marshmallows as part of a social media contest. To enter the contest, post a photo on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram of yourself holding an imaginary box of cereal with the hashtag Lucky10Sweepstakes. Hayden Panettiere, the star of ABC's Nashville, has entered treatment for postpartum depression. The actress has been open about the disorder in recent weeks, saying she relates with her Nashville character, who also struggles with the condition. Panettiere's daughter is a 10-month-old, and doctors say it is not unusual to feel the effects this late after birth. And One Direction released their new single, Perfect, today after teasing it for weeks. This is the second single off their newest album, Made in the AM, which will be released November 13th. The group released Drag Me Down back in July.
Coming up in sports, Syracuse basketball got things started at Media Day this afternoon, and could the Mets pull off something they have not done since 2006? Stay with us.
Hey Orange Nation! I'm Brianna Butler on the women's basketball team.
And I'm Trevor Cooney of the men's basketball team.
And the season is right around the corner.
You can get your first look at the teams at Orange Madness on Friday, October 16th.
Come watch us at the Carrier Dome for the first time this season. There will be a dunk contest.
And after the scrimmages, come get selfies with the teams.
Hope to see you there. We nailed it. Killed it.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Syracuse basketball is back. The Orange hosted Media Day at the Carmelo Anthony Center this afternoon, and Citrus TV's Ariel Epstein was there and is back in studio to tell us what the coaches and players had to say.
Well, we saw Coach Boeheim take the stand for the first time this season, and the first thing that he really mentioned, he talked about how last year's team was definitely not a good team, but this year he said there are about 5 players who can help improve the offense by being able to shoot threes, which is something that we didn't really see much from anyone but Trevor Cooney. Also, he did actually speak about the suspension. He did avoid some questions, but he was very adamant about one thing. He was saying that in those 9 games of ACC suspension, he's not allowed to speak with any of the players on the team, and he did not agree with that at all. He thought that you can reprimand him for the actions that he took, but don't hurt the team and the players because they came to Syracuse to play for him. Then the women's also had their media day today, and Coach Q came out. His one big word of the day was toughness. He said his team needs to get tough to improve for this coming season and to be able to close out games, which is something that they struggled with. Also, Brittany Sykes is also about to come back from an ACL injury. She was out with 2 ACL injuries in her career, but she's expected to be back, and she's going to help make this team even better than they hoped that they were last year. Back to you, Carly.
Thanks, Ariel. Well, Syracuse football will play their first road conference game when they head to Charlottesville to take on Virginia this weekend. Both teams are coming off losses last week. The Orange look to improve to 2-0 in the ACC. And Eric Dungy will be at the helm for Syracuse. In the loss to USF last week, the freshman quarterback threw his first interception, but accounted for 232 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. One of those, a 7-yard rushing touchdown. His other was to freshman running back Jordan Frederick, who has simply been lights out this season. He actually caught his first receiving touchdown versus USF, and Frederick now has officially been named their starting running back. The Orange and Virginia have split 4 contests that they've played all time. And sticking on the gridiron, the Buffalo Bills host the Cincinnati Bengals Sunday afternoon in an AFC matchup. The Bills may or may not be playing with star wide receiver Sammy Watkins, who is recovering from a calf injury and has been sidelined since September 27th. But he said yesterday, quote, "You are making me look bad," about the Bills not giving him enough touches. So clearly, Rex Ryan, give the man the ball. And Ryan's former team is also in action this weekend after a bye week last week. The Jets host the Redskins at MetLife Stadium on Sunday at 1 p.m. And Gang Green is a surprising 3-1 to start the season, but they have never beaten the Redskins at home. Now on Monday Night Football, the first-place Giants host the Eagles in a crucial NFC East matchup. And to the Diamond we go. The Mets and Dodgers went at it in Game 5 of the NLDS in Los Angeles last night in order to secure to go on to the rest of the playoffs. The top one we'll get to here, Daniel Murphy doubles to left, and Curtis Granderson will chug his way home. So the Mets get started, their offense started early. They go up 1-0. But the Dodgers were there to play too. Daniel Murphy slides in for that triple, and the Mets go up 1-0. But the Dodgers would come back. Andre Ethier singles to left, and Gonzalez is able to score, so the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. The Mets would come back, though, and tie it 2-2, and then in the 6th inning, Daniel Murphy belts a home run. That would be the winning run for the Mets as he put them up 3-2. And then all came down to this. Dodgers fans were on their feet. Bottom 9, Jerry's Familia strikes out Howie Kendrick. The Mets are celebrating in LA. The Blue and Orange will face the Cubs in the NLCS. That series starts tomorrow at Citi Field. And for the Mets, it's their first time in the NLCS since 2006.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your wake-up weather.
And what made students at Brown University go viral on Twitter.
Cool. Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
So temperatures are going down this weekend, then up again next week. When do you think we're going to start seeing that decrease?
Yeah, I think in November we'll finally see those temperatures decreasing, and then it'll stay that way and just keep going on until we get to winter.
Alrighty, I have procrastinated time and time again, but I finally want to go pumpkin picking. Is this the weekend to do it?
No, not the weekend. We are expecting some snow, some rain. Not a good weekend to be outdoors.
Bummer.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Brittany.
Sorry.
That's unfortunate. Too bad.
Too bad.
Well, here at SU, we know it's pretty normal to see people standing near beer bong tables, but at a party at Brown University, one suspected participant caused a bit of a stir.
Malia Obama, the daughter of the president, was photographed standing in front of a beer pong table. Twitter blew up when she was spotted with many Brown students expressing their excitement for partying with the oldest Obama child.
It isn't clear whether she was actually playing, but if she takes after her old man, she's probably got a nice shot. And that makes one of us, because I am the worst at both of those.
At basketball and beer pong?
A little bit. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, just would be terrible at that.
I don't know. Well, it shows that the president's daughter is having some fun. And I think that people shouldn't be so fast to criticize her, because it wasn't actually clear that she was participating in the photos.
Right, right. But I mean, it would be fun to play with the president.
Oh, I'm sure.
President's daughter.
Yes, for sure. And that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook at Citrus TV News. I'm Monika Hammer.
And I'm Jacob Reynolds. Have a wonderful weekend, Syracuse, and we'll see you on Monday.